Oh yes. Yeah.
I'm from the twin, same hood, same friends. That's if you're looking for me. But if them laws looking for me, that's a different story. Ay.
Yo, what's good, gang? You know the name. It's Transition representing Gap Tooth Games, and I'm back at y'all with another video. Go ahead, hit that like button for me as you come on in. Drop a comment down in the comment section and let me know how you feel about the video. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed, because we going up. We creeping up on 5,000, so if you want to help us get there, just tap that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that notification bell. But we tuning in to Ceddy Nash today, man. It looks like we got an update in this whole David and Celeste case, and from the looks of it, bro, it looks like this man might get away with murder, y'all. Straight up. We ain't gonna do too much talking, man. We in a reaction zone. Let's get to it.
We make of this new update in the David case as we continue to cover the investigation into the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, whose body was found in a Tesla that was registered to the singer out in LA back in September. And there have been
Well, y'all heard what was said. Well, it turns out there's a lot more to get to that y'all are going to be like, he's getting away with it. So let me put that out there first. Let's go.
D4VD has confirmed with
how it's starting to feel.
KTLA that its prior news release, quote, stands on its own. What does that mean? Well, if you go back to that prior news release, essentially the message being sent is, there is currently no crime other than concealment of a body that may have occurred. There is no case being sent over to the LA County District Attorney's Office for potential review or potential prosecution. And one of the reasons that announcement has been made was because the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner has not yet determined a manner or cause of Celeste's death.
So no charges are coming? None whatsoever? It seemed like Steve was a little upset. And you'll start to gradually see the anger start to go up a little bit more because he got told to get in his place. Don't worry, it'll get revealed later. Y'all hit that like button like you like something. Roll it.
Was killed, that homicide charges are not warranted here, that's our final conclusion, or is that saying we don't have evidence at this point?
So I think what it's saying is that they're still relying on what's going to come back from the medical examiner's office, since there's not a determination there, at least publicly. Now, are they in contact with the medical examiner? Absolutely. But listen, I don't think that's unintentional. They've been so tight-lipped. I think there has to be something to read into that. That again, I think the purpose of the initial release was to, get everybody possibly prepared that this isn't a homicide. And now they're saying we still don't have anything that shows that it is. But there's other, listen, a crime definitely occurred. And they even say that at least concealment of the body. But there's other crimes I hope they're investigating, such as the relationship. I understand it's a tough case to make.
At least the relationship, man. I feel like California is like a freaking bizarro world when it comes to like people who commit crimes and stuff. Like if somebody break into your home in California, unless they literally probably like busting shots at you in the act, you can't kill them. Legally, you will get in trouble if you off that person. If they come into your home with weapons to take your stuff or take your life, you will get in trouble for killing them. Try that in Texas, I'll send flowers to your funeral. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. Y'all remember when Pop Smoke lost his life? The dude who took his life basically put it on the minor in the group, and they got this thing called juvenile life, where if you're under the age of like 17, 16, then basically you only do up to the age of 21 and they let you out. Pop Smoke's killer is already out of prison. He's been out of jail for a couple years now. It's crazy. California is not the place to go to where, it's not safe if you want to be safe around criminals. I mean, nowhere is safe around criminals, but you get what I'm saying.
Because she's not around anymore, she can't testify, but it doesn't mean because it's hard, it shouldn't be, pursued.
I'm going to talk about what potential charge.
I don't know if y'all catching the theme of it all, but it seems like the police ain't gonna do what they supposed to do and basically hold somebody accountable for this. Because it seemed like to me, Steve and them were trying to get somebody to come forward.
Yet. Last time you and I were speaking, you said it's possible that the LA County Medical Examiner may be releasing the cause and manner of death of Celeste soon, because you were looking at the website and it was showing that they were reviewing cases. There was a backlog and maybe Celeste is going to come up. Does it signify to you, yeah, we spoke to them, there's nothing to determine that she was killed by anyone, which could raise questions about how she died? Or is this a situation where, you know, they again, yeah, they spoke to them. Yeah, it's possible Celeste was killed, but we're just not revealing that at this point in time.
Yeah, so the LA County Medical Examiner's Office has their own in-house investigators also. And in fact, they publicly say on the site who the investigator on the case is. So I'm sure they're working with robbery homicide. And, you know, it may be a case that, let's say they did get a good toxicology result back, but it's not an overdose. Now it throws it back into, okay, so then you got really limited options. It's either a homicide or, you know, if she took her own life. Then they'd really have to dig in, because if it wasn't glaringly obvious from the initial autopsy, in other words, if there's not a gunshot wound or something like that, then, you know, they're going to have to maybe get forensic anthropologists involved that specialize in trying to make these determinations on severely decomposed bodies, which can...
I feel like that should have been done from the jump, though. What I don't understand is, okay, let's just say David didn't kill her. Let's just say, for shits and gigs, he didn't do it. She was still in the trunk of his car. They still have pictures, and, you know, it's still public knowledge that they were in a relationship. Can he not be jailed for at least being a pedophile? You know what I'm saying? The dude is obviously a pred. Like, the matching tattoos, the song named Celeste where he talks about, I don't care about the law when I'm with you because I be breaking it all the time. Dude's a weirdo. He need his ass whooped right now.
Take a while, and they might be consulting with outside pathologists to see if they got it, to get comfortable with a possible determination. But something, you know, like you said, I've been tracking those other cases and they've come back with toxicology now. In fact, she's the only one of 26 deaths on September 8th that doesn't have a cause and manner. And so it's a little bit, it's concerning, but which way it goes is hard to tell, because they could have, you know, needed additional testing.
Because you thought by this point we might have had a release. You thought by this point we might have more information.
If it was, I think if they got a good toxicology, let's say it came back and it was clearly an overdose of some sort, whether somebody administered that or she took it herself and it was an accident is a different thing. A cause would be, you know, a real manner would be whether it was self-administered or administered by someone else. I would think that there would have been some sort of indication by now, and that could be then initial charges could be dropped. I don't know why initial charges couldn't be dropped now, even if they have the stack on top of them, because I know that they'll probably say, well, he's cooperating.
Like, we just seen her in that previous panel. This is clearly her hiding her face with this nigga. Why ain't he in prison? Why ain't a dude named Big Schmo that's 350 pounds solid muscle turned this dude into his girlfriend yet?
But how much, if it's been 2 months and you haven't gotten the answer yet, is he really cooperating? So, you know, it means he's probably not. He's probably, well, the counsel's telling him not to. And what's the difference if he's Mirandized or not, you know, now?
And to be clear about something, okay? If they come back and they say, listen, you know, there's no evidence to support that Celeste was killed, right? There's no evidence to support homicide charges, you know, manslaughter, murder, anything like that. Is that consistent with what you're seeing in your private investigation? Are you hearing or seeing something different? Would you be surprised if that's the ultimate conclusion?
You know, I'll just be honest. We really don't know. Nobody has stepped forward, even, you know, wanting to be anonymous off the record and said, you know, listen, I know what happened. So it's very bizarre that there's this many people involved that have stayed this quiet for this long, especially like when they're young. And it's like they're all lawyered up, to be honest with you. And I don't know if that's because maybe he's providing counsel to all of them, but there's no leaks coming out. And that's kind of bizarre with this many people involved, younger people that kind of want to save themselves, and they're blowing their careers up. So it seems like there's something that they're trying to protect, but I don't know what it is yet.
And I just have to be clear once again, right? There's a lot of online speculation. There's a lot that we're looking into. We're looking at every report that's come out. To be clear, okay, David Anthony Burke has not been officially implicated in any crime, any wrongdoing. He's not been charged. He's not been named a suspect, not a person of interest. Obviously, his connection is through the car and these reports that he had some sort of relationship with Celeste, which I'll dive into a little bit more.
So they're basically pointing to drugs as, I don't want to say a motive, but the reason. And it's crazy because if you think back to it, right, when we first did the very first thing, right, I thought, hey, it was the other dude, like the dude that she had slept with. I can't remember his name. And then y'all lied and said he was dead. He ain't dead at all. But he ain't trying to put up nothing as far as him doing anything in this case, because boy, that'll put the cops on his back. You know, as soon as you say you know somebody, and in that capacity, especially as a little girl, yeah, the police are coming. So I would never announce myself if I'm a little buddy.
Definitely, that's some old Tiger and Kylie Jenner. But let me just say this: let's say it was drugs. Let's say she possibly overdosed from some drugs she had taken. Who you think she got the drugs from? You don't think her rich older rapper / singer boyfriend who has access to pretty much anything money can buy you at this point, like, you know, regardless, like, I want this nigga locked up, all right? And I ain't never want a black man locked up in my life. I feel bad for saying this, but I want him punched in the face.
Even though it seems like he probably was either close to her age or older. It seemed like she had an affinity for older cats. But the reason I say that is because she said she lost her V card to him, and on top of that, she was getting drunk at each other. This is not a Zima, by the way. This is a
that boy sipping Canadian. That clearly Canadian. Hey, I be sipping them shits. You did. Shout out to you, Ceddy. Which one that is? That's blueberry. You know what I'm saying? I be messing with the raspberry. But shout out to you, Ceddy.
Brought this in. Hey. Y'all know, y'all grew up in the 90s. You know what this is.
We know.
Let's continue on.
That may be just a misdemeanor. There's a law that says every person who, having knowledge of an accidental death, actively conceals or attempts to conceal that death shall be guilty of a misdemeanor, punishable by imprisonment in a county jail for not more than 1 year, or by a fine of not less than $1,000 nor more than $10,000, or by both that fine and imprisonment. And for purposes of this section, to actively conceal an accidental death means any of the following.
That's accidental death, but what if it was an intentional death? What if he gave her the drugs and she overdosed? I mean, technically that's accidental, but technically you just gave her minor drugs. That's a murder.
To perform an overt act that conceals the body or directly impedes the ability of authorities or family members to discover the body, to directly destroy or suppress evidence of the actual physical body of the deceased, including, but not limited to, bodily fluids or tissues, to destroy or suppress the actual physical instrumentality of death, right, what caused the death. And I also saw that there was this health and safety code section under California law that says a person who willfully mutilates remains known to be human without authority of law is guilty of a felony. I'm just not sure if we've seen convictions on that for something like this, given this fact pattern. But the reason people are talking about this law now is because if we are coming to the conclusion that this really may be it, am I wrong? Is that really what, we might be looking at?
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. And, I've brought this up for a while now, that you can willfully conceal and suppress evidence and destroy evidence to hide it from investigators and family and everybody else, and it's still a misdemeanor. And let's just be real about
That's
it.
Crazy.
None of these people appear to, or an initial orbit have a record, so they're not going to get up to a year in county jail. They're going to get probation if they're charged. So it's tremendous. Now it shifts to a felony when you mutilate a body. Now, and of course, we've heard these reports since the beginning of her being dismembered. I do not believe that. I believe it was disinterculation, that's a natural process of the connective tissues degrading and the bones, falling apart. I don't have any evidence that she was dismembered, so I don't think that's the case.
Okay.
But if it is, then that would go to a felony. That would be a totally different thing. But you suppress this evidence. You can hide her in a trunk from investigators and destroy evidence, and it's a misdemeanor in California.
That's crazy. That, because anywhere else, that nigga, just for that alone, they giving you multiple years in prison. California is bizarro land.
And to be clear, maybe that's what the additional testing is, to try to see what signs her body shows of being manipulated in some way or mutilated in some way. I hate to talk so cavalier about this, but from a legal point of view, this is the cold, hard facts. This is what investigations look like.
So they want the police to essentially arrest somebody and do the whole entire TV investigative angle. Like if you remember 24, Jack Bauer would have basically arrested David and would have beat his ribs in and would have got the answers that he needed. And it's starting to look like
we need some of that sometimes. Sometimes you need a cold, hard, lone wolf, vigilante ass detective that's just gonna go in that interrogation room, say, hey, yo, turn off all these cameras for 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds with this guy. Put on his black gloves and beat some information out of motherfucker. Sometimes you need that, because everybody's, and this is rare, when everybody's being tight-lipped around a situation like this, especially younger people. Like, David must have all of these people around him lawyered up too. You know what I'm saying? But man, we gonna end this one right here. Shout out to Ceddy Nash for the dope content, man. Make sure y'all go over there and hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And tell me how y'all feel about it down in the comment section, bro. I really feel like this little girl might not get no justice, bro. And it's sad. Like, this is a very sad situation. I feel like we live in a reality right now where even if David beats this, he might actually have a career after this, you know? Like, I don't know, man. Time will tell. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about it down in the comment section, man. That's all I got for y'all in this one. Be sure to check me out on the next one. Don't forget to like the video on the way out. Comment down in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Road to 5K. We on the way. And until next time, gang, you know the name. It's Transition representing Gap Tooth Gains. If you like this one, man, stay tuned. I'm going to drop a link in the outro of our boy Antonio Brown. It looks like they expedited him from Dubai, and he has to stand trial for attempted moida from back at that Aiden Ross event where he was getting jumped and he up Blick. I mean, that boy was running down on folks. So if you want to tune into that one, I'm gonna drop it at the outro, man. But y'all stay locked. Oh yeah, and don't forget, life isn't about making it from point A to point B. Life is about living in between the gaps. Peace out.
Cash getting why they heavy hash twisting. Lane sippers and mean strippers who just all about the green and it means just fast living. And I'm not one to judge, cause I've been off that mud double cup with no fucks when I pass limits. And who don't like the smoke and get gone off a cone, but it would not get blown unless gas in it. Hold up, we bout to roll up. I got some smoke, keep you up like it's Folgers. Rookies try to hit the cookie, fuck around and throw up. So we drop the hottest pen verse and it blow up. But we got some recognition from a nigga, so what? We be walking down the street, get beeps like they know us. Now bitches in the sheets, but the freak on the meat skis keep grab their feet. Hell yeah, make them toast. You know what? I go nuts, but yet I'm steady focused. Probably from the biomass flower, no lotus. I can't even think how many trees when it's smoked up. Whatever the number, gonna fuck sure need a tow truck. Getting shit across the seas with ease, put a boat up. That's no lie, baby girl, no joking. Shorty said she can't swim, I'm behind the back stroking. Do it for the love of buzz, stuff a blunt, make it swell and make your fucking chest open.